Welcome back to another episode in Case Podcast. Today, we make sense of the chaos that is money without sending you into a full-blown panic attack. I'm your host, NK, and today we're diving into The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, another finance book, hear me out. This one is different. This is not your average get-rich-quick nonsense. No, this one is more like why you keep buying stuff you don't need, and how to stop treating your bank account like it's a bottomless pit. The Psychology of Money is basically a book about how we think, feel, and act when it comes to money. And spoiler alert, our brains are not as good with money as we'd like to think. But it's okay. That's why I'm here to walk you through it with the grace of a confused squirrel trying to open a Nutella jar. Let's get into it. First thing Housel tells us, money is a tool. Sounds simple, right? Like, a hammer is a tool, but if you've ever tried to hammer a nail with the wrong end of the hammer, you'll understand that tools don't always work if you're not using them properly. And that, my friends, is basically the story of our financial lives. Money is supposed to make life easier, but for some reason, we still treat it like it's the mysterious ingredient in the secret sauce of life. Like if we just figured it out, everything would magically fall into place. Housel gives us a reality check. It's not just about how much money you have. It's about how you think about it. For example, let's talk about the lottery. You've probably dreamt of winning the jackpot, right? Well, Housel reminds us that people who win the lottery don't always end up happy. I mean, sure, you'd buy a private island, maybe start a petting zoo with a giraffe, but that kind of sudden wealth can actually make life more complicated. And I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to hire a team of personal assistants just to help me figure out what to do with my cash. I can barely decide what to eat for dinner. The point is, luck plays a bigger role in getting rich than most of us want to admit. We don't like to admit it because we like to think we're the mastermind behind our financial success. Oh, I'm so great at investing in stocks. No, Karen, you just happened to buy a random stock that went up while you were binge-watching Netflix and calling it strategy. Luck is a sneaky little thing. But wait, it gets better. Housel also talks about how personal history shapes how we deal with money. And that's when things start getting real deep. Your money story, yes, I'm calling it a story because it sounds cooler that way, is shaped by how you grew up, the experiences you've had, and all those random financial decisions you made in your 20s when you thought budgeting was just an Instagram filter. Let's be honest, we've all been there. Some of us grew up with parents who were total penny pinchers, like you were allowed to have a birthday party only if the cake was homemade and made from ingredients that were on sale. Meanwhile, some of us had parents who thought the word budget was a dirty word. Whatever you experienced is now fueling your decisions about money today, whether you like it or not. And guess what? It's totally okay. You're not doomed to make poor choices forever, unless you keep buying the get-rich-quick courses on Instagram. Stop doing that, by the way. Another hilarious gem from The Psychology of Money is that money can buy you freedom, but it doesn't buy happiness. And we've all heard this a million times, right? But Housel flips the script and says, yeah, sure, money won't buy happiness, but it will buy you the freedom to live life on your terms. And that, my friends, is where the magic happens. Imagine having the kind of freedom where you can just say, you know what, I'm going to quit my job and start a llama yoga business. Oh, that's the dream. But let's get serious for a second. Housel says that true wealth isn't just about the money itself. It's about time. It's about having the time to enjoy life, the time to make memories, the time to be a little weird and eccentric if you want. And I don't know about you, but I am into that because who needs a Ferrari when you can have an afternoon nap without a single worry about whether you can afford it? And finally, one last big takeaway. Don't compare your money to others. Housel reminds us that comparing your financial situation to someone else's is like comparing your houseplant to your neighbor's backyard garden. Sure, their garden looks amazing, but you don't see the 100 failed attempts, the weird fertilizer that didn't work, or the fact that they secretly hired a gardening service and are living a lie. So don't fall for that. So let's wrap it up. The Psychology of Money is not your typical financial advice book. It doesn't give you step-by-step instructions on how to buy a house or pay off your student loans in 3 easy steps. Instead, it gets into the why behind our money habits and decisions. And while I'm definitely not saying it'll turn you into a millionaire, it might just help you understand why you are buying that $9 avocado toast at brunch and maybe even stop you from doing it next time. Or not. I mean, it's your life. All right, folks, that's all for today's episode of Financial Follies. If you learn anything today, I hope it's this. Money's not the enemy, but our brains sure are. So the next time you make a questionable purchase, just remember, your brain is playing tricks on you. And maybe, just maybe, you'll think twice before buying that limited edition fidget spinner on Amazon. Thanks for listening. And remember, spend wisely, laugh often, and don't let money mess with your head. Catch you next time on NK's podcast.